Welcome to the Boston Art Podcast,
Boston's premier art podcast,
where we talk art, culture, and philosophy.
My name is Theodore Earthworms.
And I am Brian Huntress.
Welcome to the show.
All right, we're recording.
What do you think his sign says?
His sign says, tea party, meet up, bring your pets.
Oh my god.
Saturday, 5 p.m.
That would be so cute.
No jerks allowed.
Probably not, though. It definitely says, no parking, not allowed.
No, he's probably like some fucking guy promoting a comedy open mic, taping flyers to a pole.
That's true.
That's
You know what's so funny is that comedy open mics are like the least engaging posters you could possibly find. But comedy open mics are very fun events.
You know, as the podcast knows, and you know, I did a brief foray into stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on a second.
It's working. I was looking at it.
Okay, good.
Is mine working?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good. Comedy open mics are pretty much few and far between in Boston, as are consistent and good music open mics.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is that, like, when you go to, like, Nashville, for example, you could play fucking 50 open mics a fucking day, 7 days a week. You go to New York City, you can do comedy open mics all day, every day, and fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Did you know that there's a Life Alive here now? In Harvard Square?
They have a Life Alive in Harvard Square?
Yeah.
Well, fucking congratulations, Life Alive.
That's sick.
You fucking assholes.
I agree, but I also like their kale wrap.
Are they like a Boston brand, or are they like a kind of small small national brand?
I have no idea.
Like, is there like a Life Alive in like Chattanooga, Tennessee?
Let me look it up. Maybe they are a local thing. I only knew about the one that was in Central Square for the longest time.
But to wrap that point up, there ain't
Yeah.
shit in Boston for performances. You really gotta fight to find good rooms here.
There's been a small change in our tone that I don't know if the viewers caught up with yet.
What?
But we're an anti-Boston podcast now.
We
We hate Boston.
Yeah.
We went to London and now we like London.
We loved London, dude. So one thing
London made Boston
can we just do
suck.
some London praise segment? I'm very glad we're doing this.
Do you want to do a game where we rapid fire name things we like about London that Boston doesn't have? The T.
Okay.
The tube.
No, this is
Working transit.
This isn't going to work. Let's just hold on.
That's my number one. That's
Okay.
like the only thing I had to say.
Yeah, so for people that don't take the T, one thing that Boston is doing right now, my stomach hurts. Ugh, I don't feel good.
I'm sorry.
I feel kind of gross now.
All of a sudden?
Yeah.
Shit. Do you want me to drive?
No.
We're going to have to get...
No.
Oh, wait. Fuck. Are we going to Braintree?
Oh my god, will you just cool your
Life
jets?
Alive Boston chain? Question mark?
Why are you back on Life Alive? I've
You
been
asked me to
off of
Google
Life
it.
Alive for 20 minutes.
No, you haven't. We've been recording for like literally 2 minutes.
All I was trying to say is,
It is Boston based.
when you get on, so in Boston right now, because of the many deaths and injuries and chaotic mishaps that have happened on the MBTA in the last year, they have something called slow zones, which means that the Red Line and maybe other trains go like fucking 15 miles an hour for miles and miles and miles. I took the fucking Red Line from Braintree to motherfucking Park Street, and it took me almost 2 hours.
That's fucked.
The
That's horrible.
fuck, dude? Meanwhile, you look at the fucking tube map in London, and that motherfucker looks like a fucking sacred geometry. Like, it's like a fucking
It's like a motherboard.
It's like a fucking labyrinth of fucking lines and shit.
And the thing about it that pisses me off is that it makes sense. Like, it all makes sense. Things
makes
are
sense.
where they go.
Runs smoothly. The
Dude,
tube isn't loud.
They have a
A to
line.
B.
We got there and I was trying to figure it out. Like, I was looking at the MBTA map and there's a line that's called Circle. And I was like, oh no, they're like coded by shapes. That makes no sense. And then I realized Circle is just a line that goes in a circle around the middle of the city.
Look at that. See, I didn't know that.
We rode it every day for like a week.
I know, but I actually just took a back seat to the train navigation conundrums every day.
It was extremely simple.
I just went where everyone said. Everyone just said, "Oh, we're getting off here," and I was like, "Okay."
That's fair. Yeah, no, the Circle line just was called that because it goes in a circle.
I love that.
Yeah, and all the places on the map are just places on the real map.
Another excellent thing about London is that all of the museums were free.
That was sick.
Just free admission everywhere. And it wasn't even stupid ass time tickets where you have to like call ahead. Like it was just walk on in and you're good.
Yeah. That was awesome.
I appreciated that. They also, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't get into museums. Should I tell them about our thoughts on that?
I want to do an episode where we really get into that. Right now, I don't have the energy to really get into it.
For now, we have a museum embargo.
Yeah.
Hey, I got myself lost, and I can't really mentally get myself out of Cambridge right now.
Oh,
Could
you
you
mean
just kind of GPS us out of here?
you want me to do something while I'm in the passenger seat?
Oh, you want to do this?
This refers to an argument from earlier today, in
Well,
which you
yeah.
said that I don't do shit in the passenger seat.
What doesn't refer to an argument from earlier in the day?
At what point, like, what do you think was the tipping point in our programming when we just started bickering constantly? I feel like that's our shtick now. It's kind of fun.
We don't bicker.
We bicker.
We
fucking bicker.
We've had a handful of actual arguments that were like podcast, like recording session ending arguments.
Not many.
And we've had maybe a couple like mini real fights that we just aired anyway. I'm a big fan of petty arguments.
Wait, that's a weird little place.
Yeah.
Cambridge Auto Center, but it's actually a gallery?
It's probably like a fucking car dealership.
But it has a bunch of paintings all over the walls.
I don't know what the
Hey, did you know about this place, Wits End?
No, what is
it? It's a comedy trivia bar.
Oh, wow. Nice.
I think.
Love it.
Why are you being an asshole?
What the shut the fuck up.
Engage with me.
No.
Fuck you.
No, I'll engage.
I think you would like it. Where do you want me to even go? You didn't tell me where.
Type in Braintree.
You didn't say that. I asked.
Gotta pick something up in Braintree.
I bet.
You bet? What do you bet?
I fucking bet.
What the fuck?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Here,
put this on the thingy.
No.
Put it on the thing.
You can't just let me know. Oh,
no, I don't want to watch it the whole time. Put it on the little stands for the GPS.
I don't. All right. Okay.
Easy.
Okay.
Easy. What do you do when I'm not in the car? Get lost all the time?
Fucking shut the fuck up. That's what I say to you.
Yeah.
You stole that line from me.
I bet it feels even worse when it's reflected back at you. My favorite thing to do is say things back to you that you say to me.
Do you think that, you know how when you watch some dumbass movie like The Town or like The Departed or whatever?
Never seen those, but okay.
Well, I just mean like the stereotypical Boston movie. Like when you watch a stereotypical Boston movie, there's always those moments where when you're from here where they're like, and then we go to Weymouth. Or like they say, oh, the guy, we found him down at Quincy.
Yeah.
Like they mention an irrelevant Massachusetts place. And then everyone in the audience is like, yeah! Like fuck yeah! Like,
just throw one out for the townies.
My cousin lives there!
Yeah.
Do you think that that's what our podcast is like?
I hope so.
Where, like, maybe some people who are, like, vaguely familiar with Massachusetts geography are like, oh, Gloucester? Hell yeah.
Do you want to do a bit
Love
with me?
that.
Do you want to do a bit? Do
What?
you want to name some random Massachusetts towns that are very, like there'd be no reason to talk about them, but you think they're nice?
Okay. Let me see. I got one. Fuck.
I feel like I've been in Needham before. And
Needham's nice.
I kind of like driving around in Needham.
Needham is just a beautiful, clean, affluent suburb.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like a nice place with old trees.
My dad does carpentry, construction. I think I've talked about that before, but he has jobs in Needham a lot. I think I did a job with him there.
I like any place where there are trees that are too big to wrap your arms around.
Yeah, me too.
Because those are like rare, especially in new construction areas, because one thing developers love to do is just decimate all trees and nature in the area.
Yeah.
Leave no survivors, and then just build a bunch of like Sears catalog ass looking houses.
Yeah.
And then plant tiny little trees just on the sidewalks that don't grow larger than a fern.
That's so sad.
I fucking hate areas like that. But when you're in Boston and you see fucking trees that are like, witness trees, like, you go like, oh, hell yeah. That's a fucking beautiful tree, man. That tree's like probably seen somebody die.
At least one person. That train station looks so pretty.
It looks new.
Are we near the new Green Line? Is that what that is?
I don't know where we are. I think we're somewhere in Cambridge, but
I think that says Lechmere.
You know what's kind of funny is that a lot of people just feel like Boston and Cambridge are one city, and I am one of those people where I feel like that's generally true. But I can drive around Boston with no GPS, with my fucking eyes closed, and get wherever I want.
Yeah.
But if I'm in Cambridge, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know where the fuck I can't get the fuck out of this bullshit place. It's like stressful. Everything's residential.
That is new. That's the new Lechmere station.
Oh, I know where we are now. We're by the fucking Museum of Science. We're near
really?
Lunch. Yeah, we're near the skate park.
I don't recognize anything when I'm in the car and it's nighttime. If I'm walking around Boston at night, I know where I am. But I think that because I didn't drive when I lived here, like, every day, I drive here now because of work and stuff, and I'm here every day. Yeah. But I used to walk around in the dark when I lived here.
Well, listen, right here next to us, there used to be a giant bridge foot tunnel. Mm-hmm. There used to be a tunnel that you probably walked through when you did walk everywhere. But you don't recognize it because they bulldozed that bridge.
What foot tunnel? Oh, the one. I know where we are.
Yeah, this is by the McDonald's we used to go to in the Star Market.
Yeah.
Okay. I just thought I would clear that up, that there used to be a tunnel there. It was important enough for me to disrupt everything you were just saying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I love you.
I love you too.
Should we put down our
you know guns? What I'm going to do someday?
Should we holster our guns?
No, I have one more shot to fire.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm going to do someday?
What?
I'm going to make a compilation of all of the times that I have very specifically articulated something about the way you interrupted me that made me angry. Make a compilation video and just send it to you with no caption. I think that'll let off some steam for me.
All right, have fun sifting through like 300 hours of raw audio.
You think I won't?
You should. That'd be a good thing to do. That'd be pretty cool.
I was thinking about different like things that we could clip into other content that would be really funny, because at this point we could make so many compilations if we had somebody that would like edit our clips for us. And one of the things that I was thinking was compiling every time that we have bickered on the air.
Yeah, just a compilation of petty arguments.
But like splicing it with us like embarrassingly making up on the air.
Oh yeah.
Like just the beginning of the fight and then the apology. Just like rapid fire.
There's some work that like, see, the way I see clips and compilations and stuff is that it's so much work and it's so hard to do that I feel like we've got to just focus on the main mission, which is just making the shit.
Well,
maybe one day we'll...
I always imagine this in the context of it being our wedding.
What do you mean our wedding?
Nothing.
Like a compilation of our fights, plays at our wedding?
Yeah.
Well, that's a sweet idea.
Someone who isn't me should do it.
Someone should make that for us.
Yeah.
For one day.
Maybe like Trevor or something.
Shout out to Trevor.
I'm just kidding. Shouts out.
Hey, we have a document today.
What? Oh,
wait, no, there's something I wanted to tell you that I feel like is part of our opening.
Part of our opening?
So, I have some good news, Theo.
You already moved on to the next bit.
Well, I just want to say I have some good news.
All right.
That bodes well for our content creation collaboration.
Okay.
I have learned how to use a program called OBS.
What's that?
Heard of this?
No. Oh my god.
That was a loud car. Weirdly enough, that was an SUV.
Seriously?
That was an SUV sounding like a fucking hot
dirt
rod.
bike.
Yeah, dirt bike. Weird. But I've learned how to use a program called OBS, which, you've definitely seen clips from streamers, right?
Just like clips
people
of streamers?
Who stream video games, this and that, whatever.
Yeah.
Where there's the video playing in the background, there's an overlay that says their name, and there's a little icon with them in the corner watching things. And you can record yourself watching something while talking and pausing it while watching it on the screen.
You know how to do that?
We can do that now.
Oh my god,
yeah,
that's really cool.
We have entered that game.
How much does that cost? Is that free?
It's free, but the catch is that it's fucking impossible to use.
Oh.
It's such a fucking pain in the ass. But I watched a bunch of tutorials today and set it up, and I made a demo video of me testing it. It's fucking awesome, and it just records with your desktop. Basically, it simultaneously screen records and records what your webcam is seeing.
Oh, cool.
But you can also attach multiple webcams to it. So check this out.
Mm-hmm.
We could literally easily make video podcast episodes now.
Remotely.
Well, not just that, but we could be in the same room where you could just have a little camera pointed at you and I could have one pointed at me, and I could switch from your camera to my camera depending on who's talking with my laptop keys.
Oh.
And we could just record, and there would be no editing.
Oh my god.
It would just record as one video and just go right onto my desktop when it was done.
Would we have to be watching something like
No.
content on screen?
No. So what it is, so you know how there's layers in a drawing program?
Yeah.
And you can put layers in folders and shit, and it's like, you know, this convoluted way of making an uncompressed images based on layers.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but it's a video, where you have folders containing video assets that are on the screen. Like you have, it's really convoluted, but you can literally just make multiple channels that are camera feed audio, like displays, but you can do multiple displays that you can switch rapidly between as you record. So you can switch from your face to what you're watching. You can switch from camera to camera. You can have multiple cameras on screen at once. Like we could have a display that's your face and a display that's my face on the screen, split screen, recording both of our faces as we both talk to each other in different parts of the room.
That's really cool. So
I think we should test that.
We should.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is, couldn't we do this remotely as well? Like if I was at my house or something,
well,
we could still record.
So we could literally do that, but that would negate the reason for using OBS.
Why?
Because we could just record a Zoom call at that point. That would be the same thing. That might even be better. Like if we were recording remote, it would probably make more sense to just do it on Zoom or something if we wanted it to be video. And I also did a little bit more research on top of some of the equipment associated with streaming and OBS and shit. And what people do is they just get a webcam, obviously, instead of the built-in one.
Yeah.
And a decent one apparently costs just like $30.
Huh.
And on top of that, an extremely rudimentary USB mic could also cost you like $20 or $30. If you wanted to go the extra mile and get something more durable and respectable and good,
yeah,
you could splurge $80 to $100 and get a Yeti microphone, which is the stupid round looking barrel one I have.
Yeah.
Where it looks like a barrel kind of.
Well, that sounds exciting.
Anyway, I'm just saying, so we could we could literally we could make video content in the format that we're doing right now with very minimal editing and very minimal computing power.
Yeah.
Now, very easily.
I'm in.
You know what I want to do for starters? We might run into some copyright issues, but since we will probably never have enough views to monetize in that way,
yeah,
it won't really matter if we get copyright claimed. Like if we had income coming in through YouTube, then it would matter, but we don't, so who cares? So, with that being said, I think we should do a series of react video content.
Yeah.
Where we just react to entire art documentaries.
That would be cool.
Where we just watch a documentary together and just talk over it and pause it. And the video would record the entire documentary, but just with our faces superimposed over it, talking about it.
Wow, we've come full circle.
Wouldn't that be funny?
That would be really funny. That's how we met.
Yeah. So we should do that.
Yeah.
And it would be a fun way to introduce random people to documentaries they never would have seen in a fun way.
We have to start with The Artist is Present.
Yeah, I was thinking it would be cool also to do a lot of vintage ones.
Yeah.
Like some classics, like Ways of Seeing by John Berger.
Oh, yes.
I think that the copyright stuff might get a little bit tricky if we do relevant documentaries, because those people are trying to license them and shit. So we might like get videos taken down and stuff for copyright.
That would suck.
Yeah, whatever.
We could host them on our website, though, couldn't we?
Literally, yeah. But yeah, so
what would go wrong? We get like a cease and desist or something?
From what I've heard from watching infinite hours of the H3 podcast, is that the main thing you have to do with React content is that apparently the copyright law states that it has to be transformative content.
Like really good?
No, yeah, like earth mind shattering.
What does that mean?
It means that you have to be, you can't just basically re-upload someone else's content with a little picture of you at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Like
you have to be making something new with the content.
Exactly. It's similar to when you use like someone's photograph in your art. Like you can't just fucking use their picture. It has to be transformed into a completely new thing.
Well, this is an interesting segue.
Oh, yeah. There was some interesting news in the art world recently.
Yeah.
Theo has prepared a presentation for it.
Have I?
Yeah. Would you like to begin?
Well, I don't have a presentation because you're using my phone for the GPS.
Oh, well, we don't need it anymore.
I don't know if I know the facts, but basically...
Fuck the facts. We're a podcast.
TLDR.
Podcasts don't need facts.
Oh, you don't need the...
No facts required.
So Life Alive was founded in 2004 in Lowell.
Oh, so it is like a Massachusetts brand.
Yeah, they launched in Cambridge in 2010 and Salem in 2012. And then in 2015, the owner of Panera Bread purchased it and opened the Brookline location.
Well, good for them.
Yeah, but they were a local chain started in Lowell.
Well, isn't that something?
Shouts out to Lowell for being the most underappreciated arts community ever, but like a very solid one.
It really is. It's like it's what I really love about it. I'm sure locals would have a much more nuanced opinion, but I feel like Lowell is a very interesting case where the city has very meaningfully invested in its local arts.
Yeah.
Like it seems like the powers that be actually give a shit if the arts exist in Lowell. And that's awesome. I don't know. I mean, there's UMass Lowell and all of the music students and audio engineering students, crawling around the cities like rats and vermin.
What?
Just kidding. They're nice people, I'm sure. Whatever. But there's those people, but there's also just people like, there's our friend Wednesday at the Lowell Telemedia Center.
Shouts out.
There's Joel Mongian. Shouts out to Joel over doing all types of jobs at Mill 5. I don't know. That's only 2 examples, so maybe that's actually not that, systemically substantial. Whatever, but it's fucking cool to be up there. Anyway, what the fuck were we just talking about? Something in the news related to copyright issues. Are you pulling that up? Do you want me to keep babbling so you have more time?
The court case is the Andy Warhol Foundation for the Visual Arts Incorporated versus Goldsmith, and it was just concluded.
But wait. Who is Goldsmith?
I'm Googling. Hold on.
You literally said, like 2 weeks ago, no, wait, let's not talk about this. We need to talk about this on the podcast.
Yeah, and then you ignored me for weeks and weeks.
Yeah, because we were going to talk about it on the fucking podcast.
So, basically, Goldsmith is the photographer, I think. But, yeah. Yes, okay. At the center of the case is Goldsmith, a portrait photographer who's photographed every major celebrity from her era, from Nirvana to Bob Marley, and shot over 100 album covers. In 1981, Newsweek commissioned Goldsmith to photograph Prince, musical artist Prince. The magazine didn't use the photos, but Goldsmith retained the licensing for future use. And then 3 years later, Vanity Fair commissioned Andy Warhol to create an image of Prince for a cover and paid Goldsmith a license fee to use one of her images as the reference point with the understanding that it would only be used for that issue. This is where things get murky. Goldsmith said she was not aware that Warhol had created additional works outside of that agreement until they were published by Vanity Fair when Prince died in 2016, which is much, much after Andy Warhol died, obviously. Oh, that person is just standing on the side of the highway.
That's odd. Wait, Prince died in 2016?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I thought he died way before that.
No.
How
He
did he
died
die
like
again?
recently. How did he die?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Anyway.
I don't know. I could look it up, but it's kind of hard to Google while also holding the mic.
So the synopsis of the... Well, you're also Googling with your left hand. That's
yeah,
be difficult.
It's a little hard.
Why don't you just switch hands?
Listen, I'm doing my own thing, okay?
I can switch hands.
So basically, she was paid to license the image for one cover a million years ago when Andy Warhol was alive. Okay. He made a bunch of other art with those photos that didn't surface again until Prince died, that were owned by Vanity Fair, that she just was never informed of and were never used, really. And then Prince dies, they do a bunch of articles about him, and Vanity Fair starts using the images that were by Andy Warhol but used the photos taken by Goldsmith. The illustrations were copyrighted by Warhol and have since been sold and reproduced for hundreds of millions of dollars. So the case went to the Supreme Court because Goldsmith sued Andy Warhol's foundation, saying that it was copyright infringement of her original copyright of the photographs because she didn't license the images to create the artwork, and Andy Warhol's copyright would therefore be null because he didn't have the right to copyright it in the first place. And this has been fought in the courts for years. I don't know when the first case was initially proposed, but basically... Oh, this article is old. It's from before the decision was made. But the Andy Warhol Foundation was arguing that the images were used as fair use, which is a legal doctrine in copyright law that promotes freedom of expression by permitting the unlicensed use of copyright-protected works in certain circumstances, such as when the purpose and character of the use is commercial and educational, the nature of the copyrighted work... What? I don't know. Basically, a lot of people fucking... this is the same thing you were talking about. One of the most important factors in this case is the oft-used defense that the use is transformative, meaning that the original copyrighted work has been transformed by a new creator in such a degree that the new character or meaning is present. In this case, it is likely that Goldsmith will argue that Warhol's use was not transformative, i.e. that his print silkscreen is demonstrably still her photograph and has no new meaning. While the Warhol Foundation will argue that it is transformative. So that was a big debate.
What I think's so stupid about that, honestly, on the Warhol Foundation's part, is that if Andy Warhol were alive, and there is literally evidence of him saying this, you could say to Andy Warhol, or back, like somebody literally, there's a famous interview where somebody said, Andy, don't you think it's like why did you just take other people's images and just reproduce them exactly as they are? And he goes, because it was easier. And he said, but those are other people's images. Like why? Like, whatever. And he's like, I don't know. I just liked them. Like, he literally, if he was alive, he would say, oh no, they're not transformative. They were just cool pictures, so I used them. Yeah. And then everyone would be like, wow, mysterious, intelligent, genius.
The thing is, where it gets complicated is the fact that he copyrighted the images.
Yeah, which is kind of scummy because it's what I think's kind of scummy about Andy. Well, okay.
He copyrighted them and sold them to Vanity Fair.
If you know anything about Andy Warhol, which I know you do, but for the listener, Andy Warhol, it's so tough because I love Andy Warhol and his story. It's like, I romanticize it in my head a lot. So cool, so fascinating. But the dude was a fucking awful person. He was a piece of shit. Yeah. And with a lot of murky, dark dealings, very unethical projects. Yeah. Probably literal crimes, drugs. Who he could be compared to? If you know anything about David Dobrik.
I don't really.
He's a YouTuber, but he's people there's a documentary someone made about him, about the cult of David Dobrik, about he's super fucking famous, but there's been multiple situations where people have been assaulted, injured, permanently maimed, or just bad shit happening in proximity to his vlogs. But he's still famous and everyone loves him, but he's known to be somebody who pushes people into very, very bad situations for content. Yeah. So, but I kind of feel like Andy Warhol was the same way. But I think it's scummy because he probably knew, like, oh yeah, like obviously I stole them. They were cool pictures, so I wanted to use them. Who cares? And then they'd be like, Andy, but you you made your own copyright on these and stole a bunch of money. And he'd go, yeah, I know. And they go, why would you do that? And he'd go, I don't know. I just wanted some money. Because that's how he was.
Well, it does get complicated, though, because, I mean, I don't really know what the details are in terms of what he knew at the time, but she licensed one image, and he had all of these other versions of the image that Vanity Fair owned, and Andy Warhol copyrighted to sell to Vanity Fair, but they didn't use for decades. So she only became aware of their existence in 2016, right, but he was long dead.
Yeah.
But because Prince died, these images blew up and they were reproduced tons of times. They made millions of dollars. And so she was selling for damages based on the proceeds from the reproductions. Because essentially, it was her art.
Right.
Anyway, the thing that's interesting about this case is that it was setting a precedent for... make sure there's not... Careful of that chain hanging off that car in front of us.
I see.
It was setting a precedent for what is considered fair use, because in collage, in printmaking, in a lot of textile art with like image transfer, people do that. They use photos that already exist, sometimes copyrighted photos. And if you are making commercial art or art that is going to be sold in any capacity, even if it's not for advertising or for publishing, the argument that people were making in terms of why this is news versus just a lawsuit is that it's going to make artists more hesitant to use images without licensing, and a lot of artists can't afford access to licensing. Which, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that take, but it is interesting to think about the ripple effect, because the Andy Warhol Foundation lost.
And that's a big, so it's, in a sense, it's a bit of a win for artists too, because like, there's a lot of people, probably a lot of photographers or illustrators or whatever maybe, that did take, photos that they deserve credit for, and they own the intellectual property of, and it's a free country, and I think everyone should be able to express themselves, but at a certain point, people are entitled to protect their intellectual property.
Yeah, I agree.
Can you imagine if some douchebag just like started downloading all of our episodes and like monetizing them and making millions of dollars?
Yeah.
And like just changed the name and didn't change anything about it?
Yeah.
That'd be fucking insane. But like, I don't know how any of this shit works legally. I wish I knew more about it, but I can tell you how I handle it. And this probably isn't legally foolproof at all. But what I do is that if I just outwardly lift something from somebody else's intellectual property, whether it's a collage or this or that, I try to just make sure that I know what I stole from. Because like, I don't want, like, I dread stealing something, like copying a photo or ripping something out of a book or something, and then somebody being like, hey, asshole, and then me just having no idea.
Yeah.
But if I did steal something, I want to be able to be like, yeah, this thing that you noticed belongs to somebody else, my art, that was made by this person. Or, I sourced it from this.
Well, here's the thing,
it's like writing down citations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And here's the thing, like, I feel like there's a big difference between doing that in your own artistic practice and commercial art that is meant to be reproduced.
Right.
Like for t-shirts or for printing, for posters, or like, you know what I mean? Like something that is made to be, like, made to make money has to be made in good faith, or at least in proper legal standing. Something that you make that is, this is not talking ethically, this is talking just legally, but something that you make that has like photos in it that might be lifted from another artist, if you make that in your own private practice, and that's just a piece that you made that you have around your house, and you sell it to somebody that is a private collector, you might never hear anything about that, because it's very likely that that piece, once it's sold for the second time, will lose its provenance and not even be connected to you. Just kind of miserable and sad to think about, but you have to be doing these things at kind of a high level for there to even be a record of who the photographer and the artist involved were.
Yeah, I think what we're talking about is distribution. Like if a piece of art is being distributed, like let's say you owned a clothing line and you weren't necessarily originally creating and drawing every t-shirt. Like you're probably licensing designs. So maybe, I don't know, maybe you have a team that's like finding cool stuff to put on clothes to sell. That would, like, like, I don't know, like what's like a popular clothing line? Like fucking,
Like Zara.
do they do good graphic shit?
Mm.
So, I mean, odds are a really nice designer, clothing line probably has a lot of in-house illustrations and original art made for their stuff, but they also probably just find random shit that's dope.
Yeah.
And then just license it and pay whoever the fuck made it some like one-time fee and then put it on a product.
If they even do that. A lot of clothing lines, especially fast fashion stuff, like it's very common for artists that have uploaded their work to the internet to find out after the fact that that place did that and then contact the place and either get some kind of like legal action going and they actually get their piece back, or they just delete the post and pretend it never happened. Because most of the time, a lot of those brands, if they just sell shit and the artist never hears about it, they're just some like person, you know.
You know what's kind of interesting? This is the episode where I talk about H3 a bunch, but you know what actually happened to them, where they actually got in a little bit of hot water and had to fix it? It wasn't actually real drama, but it was just an interesting thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody called them out because they were like, they released a T-shirt that was an embroidery design.
Yeah.
Like it was like and basically, long story short, somebody found the exact same design in a vintage embroidery book.
Oh.
And they had made merch of it with it unlicensed.
Oh.
And they didn't mean to do it. And it turned out that the person who put that product into motion was an employee who had been like let go or something months before.
Oh.
Or had left for some reason. And that employee didn't tell anybody that they didn't originally create, or like they just knew that it came from this person that worked for them, and the person didn't fucking like cross all the fucking T's basically.
Huh.
So they had to reverse license it and find the person who made it. Like it was like a whole fucking thing.
Wow.
They were lucky though, because the person who did make it was like happy to do it.
Yeah.
And be a part of it. But I just thought that was interesting because they actually did get into what we're like. They had like a whole segment where they were talking about what we're talking about, and that's why I have the opinions that I do. Actually, is because apparently what they do with Teddy Fresh is they do draw tons of stuff originally, but they also just have tons of stuff that is just basically collected designs.
That makes sense.
That are either made by their people or like just things that people, like how cool would that be? Like if you had enough money to just throw around and you just like saw some stupid thing, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like just like it was just some person's like random funny photo they like took of their friend, but it was just kind of an interesting image, and you just like paid them. Like you're like, hey dude, here's $800. I'm gonna use your thing forever. I have no idea if that's how it works.
Well, that's what happened in this court case, sort of. That Vanity Fair licensed the image, but she only licensed it for a one-time run.
Interesting. Right, and it
he then took it and ran with it and made a whole series. Then Vanity Fair purchased it.
I'd probably be pretty bummed out if somebody had extra legally used something I made to make millions and millions of dollars.
Well, she won the court case.
Yeah, I wonder if she's getting paid like damages or something.
That's what she was suing for.
I honestly don't feel bad at all for the Andy Warhol Foundation, because they probably have infinite money and Andy Warhol's dead.
Yeah.
So like, fuck them. I don't know.
Well,
it's not like there's like the Rembrandt Foundation.
Yeah.
Like people like, I don't fucking, or like the Da Vinci fucking estate. Like he's gotta just, I mean, like it's kind of like how Disney just like is like clutching like thousands of copyright protections with their cold dead hands, and they like won't let anything go into public domain.
Yeah.
It's like, how fucking long are we gonna do this?
Well, it's a business after a certain point.
Right, but I mean, for how long? Forever? Like, are we going to be in
Probably.
2099 with the Andy Warhol Foundation still fucking around? Like, I don't know.
Probably.
Like, what? I don't know shit about. I don't know shit about nothing. I'm just some fuck. I gotta move the car.
Why?
Because those lights are pointing in my eyes and it's destroying my vibe.
Oh.
It's deteriorating my vibe.
It is. They are really bright.
Yeah. I'm just gonna turn the car around.
Okay.
We ate at Veggie Grill earlier, and they've become a favorite of mine. But
I like Veggie Grill.
But tonight, it has made me deeply nauseous.
Do you want some of my burger?
That would be the opposite of.
Maybe you're still hungry.
No. I would feel terrible.
What
How are
time
you
is
doing?
it?
You want to check in? You seem like you're donezo.
Yeah, kinda.
It's okay. Why?
I'm tired.
Listen, if we push through the rest of this, we got so much more exciting stuff to talk about. Oh, I love you.
I love you too. Our list sucks.
Our list? The document that I made on that napkin for the show?
Yeah.
What do you mean it sucks? All right, we're done with Andy Warhol. Let's skip over this stupid shit. Can I tell you a funny story?
Okay. Turn the light off.
So I was at the dentist the other day getting a cleaning.
Yeah. Oh, I know the story.
Something very weird happened to me.
Interesting.
It was very, very strange. And it's never happened to me before, and I imagine it'll never happen again.
I wonder what it was.
So I sit down in the chair. They say, oh, yeah, you can just put your head back, relax. Like, do you want, like... Also, my doctor has TVs that are, like, on, like, a boom stand, like, hanging over the fucking dentist bed.
Oh, I had a dentist like that one time. It's weird.
And just Netflix is on, and they always say, what do you want to watch? And I used to be like, dude, I don't know. Like, I don't know. One time, I accidentally just said, like, just put on whatever. And the lady, like, clicked on a movie, and I don't know what it was called, but it was that Jake Gyllenhaal movie that recently came out on Netflix that's about, like, a child that gets murdered and, like...
Oh, my God.
Like, human trafficking. It's, like, the most disturbing, dark, scary movie ever, and it was just playing the whole time I was in the dentist.
Did you tell the story about what happened with your MRI on the air? Or were you just telling me that?
I was on the air, I think.
Really?
The Skepta MRI sequence.
Was that on the air? Are you sure?
Yeah, we recorded directly after I left the MRI.
We did?
Yeah.
No, we didn't. I don't think we did. I think that was a regular conversation.
No, I think we recorded.
I don't know about that.
No, we were driving through Brockton recording.
What episode was it?
It could be horrible online stuff. I can't check.
Oh, you're right, actually, because that was the time you randomly got a 9 p.m. MRI.
Yeah, exactly.
I was, like, right. Yeah.
But
right.
So I'm at the dentist. This time, I just said, put on Seinfeld. Fuck it.
All right.
So watching
like a
Seinfeld.
pick.
Yeah, just Seinfeld. Because every other time I'm at the dentist, Seinfeld's already playing on the TV.
This sounds like a Seinfeld skit.
But this dentist in particular is a separate dentist in this dentist office.
Who doesn't like Seinfeld?
No. She doesn't pick for you. The other people are always just have Seinfeld on, but this dentist is like, what do you want to watch?
That's freaky.
I know. It's like, dude, just put on Seinfeld. So
you could say anything. It's giving.
What
you
am I
going
to say? Put on fucking. Oh, put on that sex room show.
It's giving you too much power to ask you what you want to watch.
Like, oh, dude, I really want to rewatch Wednesday. Like, no, just.
What's the weirdest, like, not edgy thing that you could say?
Fucking, I don't know. Put on fucking. I don't fucking know.
I feel like.
Wait, the most vanilla thing you could say?
No, something that's like weird and off-putting, but isn't like something that's intentionally off-putting.
Oh.
Like not saying like My Little Pony. That would be like weird.
That would be weird if you put it on a kid's show.
But something that's like innocuous, but also really weird.
An anime. Any anime would be weird. Like if you said, oh, dude, put on Naruto episode 7, season 1.
Is it really specific?
Yeah, that would be weird as shit.
Maybe like a drama.
Yeah, like me watching a Jake Gyllenhaal like child human trafficking movie.
The Lovely Bones.
Yeah, Lovely Bones. Shameless might be weird. Anyway, but so I'm at the dentist. Seinfeld is on the TV.
What episode?
It was. I remember the premise actually. It was an
it about
episode where Jerry and Elaine have sex.
So you picked the most uncomfortable Seinfeld episode.
She just hit play and whatever fucking played.
All right.
And I was like, oh.
Sounds awful.
It was a little awkward, but I couldn't pay attention to it because there was a woman sticking a tiny metal stick into my gums. It was awful. Sorry for that visual, Theo. I didn't mean to make you... I fucked up. I went to... I got too much... There was too much realism there.
I hate the dentist and you.
I'm sorry, baby. All right.
It's okay.
Listen. So the dentist is cleaning my fucking teeth, doing shit. And you know how they have a little table behind your head?
Yeah.
Where they like do stuff on the computer.
The weird little freaky table.
So the dentist reaches over my head, presses up against me, and her fucking armpit, full armpit, was just on my face. The cloth from her shirt, her scrubs, I could smell her deodorant. Multiple times, my dentist just kept putting her armpit 1 inch away from my face.
You said it was on your face.
There was a point. Well, okay, so her skin wasn't like it wasn't sticking her armpit skin on my face, but her shirt, like, so at one point her armpit was so much on my face that it was as if she was covering my eyes with her scrubs. Like her scrubs were hanging and touching my nose and my eyes and my forehead, and I could smell her deodorant, and her armpit was just on my head.
This is the thing you need to specify.
Like 3 times.
You said. So it was actually touching.
Laying down, and
it was touching.
Yes, so it wasn't her skin. Like it wasn't like this. It was like this.
For the listener, it wasn't touching. It was like hovering.
Yeah, it was like hovering over my face, but so close that it was very like weird.
You're changing your story here. Was it touching or was it an inch away?
Her clothes were touching completely,
and her skin was about an inch away.
It was as if someone draped cloth over my face from her scrubs.
So the inch away is the armpit itself, and the touching is the touching.
Literally just draped onto my face.
That's horrible.
It was so weird.
Did she smell like deodorant? Like,
it smelled like Dove or something. Just like women's deodorant smell. The same fucking smell that all women's deodorant smells like.
There's a lot of very different women's deodorant smells.
But I feel like there's a general smell that's...
Well, I have a very specific smell.
This is a good petty argument. Let's get into it.
I only will wear a certain kind of deodorant because other ones smell weird.
Yeah, I'm back on a women's deodorant train right now, actually.
Are you?
I am, yeah, because the men's deodorant has so much just like poison shit in it that it like gives you a rash if you wear it too much. I feel like women's deodorant's a little like more gentle on my skin.
I got mad at my mom the other day for something that was like completely innocuous.
Mm-hmm.
That's related to deodorant.
Okay.
I came home, so you know how I like crash at your house for like 5 days at a time sometimes?
Uh-huh.
I did that, and then I came home, and there was a little pile of things on like outside of my bedroom that my mom was like giving to me while I wasn't there that I found. And it was like I found like a sweater of mine that had been in the wash. It like fell out of the washing machine or something that she just was returning to me, and like some stuff that she had of mine. But also in the pile was a deodorant stick that was like partially used, that apparently it was like implied that she thought it was my deodorant, but it was like a men's gel, like Gillette, like deodorant. It was very obviously my brother's, not fucking mine.
Do you think she maybe thought it was mine?
Oh, maybe. Huh. I was pissed. I was like, what the fuck? You think that I wear gel, like wet deodorant?
Oh, dude, those
wet deodorant?
Where it's plastic and you have to twist it so the liquid deodorant
comes out. I was like, who the fuck do you think I am?
Yeah,
ew. She definitely thought it was yours, actually.
I wonder if there's like
I feel a little bad for being annoyed about
like
that.
Who do you think there's somebody in your daily life right now that you see maybe at work or something that wears that fucking wet slime deodorant and you just don't know it?
Ugh.
Like, but if you did know it about them, it would change your opinion of them.
I just don't understand how that could be pleasant in a sensory way to anybody, because then once you put it on... Alright, here's the thing. Tell me which makes it better, if you have armpit hair or if you don't.
You know, I tried shaving my armpits like a couple years ago, like where I just was like, fuck it, I'm going to shave my pits and see how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I felt? Was that my armpits were fucking sticky. when I closed my arm, I felt like the armpit skin stuck to itself.
So
And I was like, this is awful. This is an awful sensory experience.
Is it because you only shaved one time?
No, I literally committed to it.
For how long?
For a few months, or
Oh.
I just was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just be an armpit shaver for a little while, even though that's a little bit weird. I just thought, I was like, you know what?
Was it aesthetic or sensory?
No, it was purely an experiment because, like,
nice.
Most women don't shave their armpits these days.
You think?
I think most women I see. I feel like when I see a woman that shaves her armpits, I feel like we're getting into weird territory here.
I highly disagree with you. I think it's still really weird.
Where I'm like, oh, that's a rare instance where that a woman shaves her armpits.
I highly disagree.
Really?
Yeah, it's still really weird to the point that I get consistent flack about it to have like long body hair.
Huh.
That is not normal. It depends on the group that you're rolling with. If it's like art people or music people or whatever, probably don't shave.
I haven't seen a girl without armpit hair like in my life in years.
Every single normie girl shaves everything.
Okay.
Well, legs and armpits anyway.
Fair enough.
I think that that's probably true. Like just a random person you might know.
Hey,
like a random cousin.
Respect to all body hair choices.
I mean, it's not even. I'm not even casting a judgment or anything right now. I'm just surprised that you think that most people don't.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe I'm.
I think
not right.
I think this is a realization I had years ago, is that so much alt people or queer people or people living in some kind of punk rock fringe think that they are like living outside of the bubble of life, but you're just living in a new bubble.
Yeah, you're living in a subculture.
You're living in an even smaller bubble than the one you exited.
Yeah.
I'm not talking shit about those people. That's me in a lot of ways too. But yeah, I think the occurrence came to me one time where I was with a friend and we were looking at these like jock guys with like,
Your phone's dying.
Oh. But yeah, we were making fun of them because they're all wearing the same outfit. But then I think I told the story in the podcast.
I think you told me this.
Yeah, we all started laughing at ourselves though because all of us had nose rings and we're wearing black. We were just on the exact same vibe. Just looking exactly the same. Though, like this whole squad wearing the same outfit vibe.
I went to a house show once, and every single person there, like a group of like 15 people all standing together, were all wearing the exact same Doc Martens.
Love that.
Like they were like lace up Doc Martens, but they all had like the same color lace.
Have you?
And I was just like, I was with somebody that I was talking to, and I like gestured quietly and was like, haha, lol. And they were like, what? Like really loud. And I was like, nothing, like just like look. And like was like pointing at their feet, and they're like, what? That they're all wearing the same shoes? But it was like a living room show, and I was like, fuck, okay. Yeah. Yes, that. It's not funny now.
Yeah. The fuck was I about to say? Have you seen that TikTok audio from a year or two ago where it's just nice docs?
No.
Nice docs. Nice docs.
No.
And it's just like it's an audio you use when everybody you're with is wearing docs. And every time it says nice docs, you film someone else's docs. It was like a mini trend I was seeing a lot of.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Something I think is really funny is that docs with laces are music people, and docs like the ones I'm currently wearing, the ones with no laces, are art show people.
Those are very hip right now. I think it's because I feel like I was on the train yesterday and there was this kid on the train who was like very, very, very much a normie. Blue blazer, dress shirt, nice pants, leather backpack. Like he clearly was like, had like some nice job or something.
Yeah.
That he was going to or leaving. And he was wearing Doc's dress shoes.
Yeah.
But it looked like awesome. Like with this whole very professional normie situation. It was clean as shit.
Yeah.
I was like, those actually are sick. Like Doc's like low key are like ridiculously versatile.
They really are.
I've never owned a pair either.
Really?
Yeah, I never have. But those ones without laces are especially dope, I think, because they have the classic Doc's look with the yellow, stitching around it, and that like, strong boot look, but they just look so elegant without the lace.
Yeah. I
I
really,
think
really
that's what
like
they are. They're
them.
classy and elegant, but tough looking. The no lace ones.
I like that assessment. I like them a lot because they're very versatile. Because a lot of the times, like I have an office job now where it's like not. It's honestly the most relaxed office dress code I've ever experienced. Where it's basically just like don't dress like an asshole, like just look nice, figure it out. I've never had anybody say anything to me, but there is like a general like you feel the vibe of what everybody's wearing, and it's like kind of preppy at least, which is not usually how I dress outside of work. So a lot of the times I'll make an outfit. I'll wear something in the morning that's like a neutral bottom, like just like a pant that's like one color or something. These boots or a pair of like flat sneakers or something. And then I can change up my top and my jacket when I get out of work to something that's like it dresses up or dresses down. So I like wearing these because they look dressy, but they're kind of like a very um I don't know if neutral is the right word, but it's like they're not a specific vibe. They can go with anything and still be a statement piece.
You know what's something I've been experiencing a little bit off topic that's been like very nice? Is for the first time in a very long time, I have two pairs of shoes because I just always like I'm a one shoe guy,
Yeah.
and
You have okay, I want to point out that you have two pairs of shoes by accident.
yeah,
You tricked
because
yourself.
I bought a pair of shoes sometime earlier this year, forgot, and they went into a closet, and I started wearing my old shoes again. Oh, it's not that; it's just sleeping.
Oh.
Forgot. Eventually bought new shoes,
Mm-hmm.
and then as soon as I bought the new shoes, I found the old ones.
Good.
So now I have two pairs of shoes.
You should buy a couple
And
more.
they're exactly the same because for the past year, I just buy the exact same shoe every time. Is that weird? Is it weird to buy the same pair of shoes every time?
Yeah.
They're 306 New Balances, Jamie Foy,
The fact that that's
Florida
the
style.
only shoe you have. It's weird.
It's the most reliable skate shoe, in my opinion, that's also relatively affordable.
What about the rest of your life and time?
All I do is skate and ball up and paint.
I like how
It's not true at all.
basketball in the last like 6 months has rolled into your like core identity.
I just I play basketball now. I fucking it's so stupid because I've never ever had an interest in basketball ever in my life. But now I play basketball multiple times a week and practice and shit and like
I love that.
and just really like it and care about it. And I don't know why. I
I
can
can
shoot pretty consistent 3-pointers.
I can tell that it's something that you're serious about because you do the thing that you do with skating and painting where if you are near a skate park or you're near your easel, you are fully distracted unless you start to do it. And you're just like looking at it and you're getting like kind of pissy and you're like antsy about it and then you do it and then you're like happy again. Like you have to, and it's like all consuming. You can't focus unless you do it. If we go to the gym and you're like near the basketball court, you're just like looking at it and
I'm
like
just
looking at
longingly watching people play basketball.
yeah, and you'll just be like, I'll be talking to you, and you're just like suddenly in a bad mood, and I'm like, what's up? And you're like, I gotta go ball up.
I'm gonna go ball out, that's what I say.
And then you leave and
I
just play
mope it my way
basketball over
over.
there alone while I go do whatever I'm doing. And you come back and you're in a great mood and you're all sweaty.
I don't know what my problem is. I
I
just
think it's
like it.
great. I think it's really good. I think it's a really good it's always a good thing to have a new form of exercise that's engaging. I think that's awesome.
I
It's
just
kind of fun. I'm just lazy.
I figured this out in physical therapy because they make you do workouts with medicine balls,
Hmm.
and I feel like this is gonna sound like so stupid with like childish innuendo, but there is just something so infinite to me about just holding like a ball, like a sphere,
Hmm.
like in your hands. Like I'm just like there's just something so weird. Like it's almost like spiritual to hold a sphere to me, like an orb. And I don't know why, but when I'm holding one, I'm just like this just feels profound. So I find myself feeling that profound infinite feeling while I'm just like throwing a basketball around while also getting exercise and trying to throw the ball in the hole.
I like that you prefaced that like very poignant and unique perspective with an apology about the innuendo of what you're about to say.
Well, I don't want to be like, oh, I like holding balls.
That was not what you said. Nobody would have drawn that conclusion from what you just said.
I was defending myself against that.
But you didn't say that. You said, I find holding spheres transformative.
I backed out. I didn't want to say balls. I find holding balls transformative.
It's probably true, too.
Oh, man. Yeah, so, ball up, dog. Hell yeah, dog. Hey, check out the document. What are we...
I don't want to read off the napkin anymore.
No, we need it. It's keeping us, like, a little bit on track.
What the fuck? Turn the light off.
Wait, I just want to peep it real quick.
I'm looking at it. Turn the light off.
Peep. All right,
Turn the light off. Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus. All right, let me look at it from the street light then, since you're... Okay.
Sliding is better.
There's one topic on here that I think we should skip because it's boring.
Name your crit?
No, that's the one that I think is cool. I saw a funny TikTok. I can't credit the person because I don't remember who made it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Whatever.
To that person, I'm going to steal your idea.
You could probably just search the word and find the TikTok immediately.
I could find the TikTok, but fuck it, I'll find the TikTok. Hold on.
Do you want me to do it?
No, because it's like
It's going to cancel the audio thing if you go on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Let me do it.
All right.
Is it just name your crit?
Yeah, like name your inner critic. Whatever. Actually, fuck this. Let me see.
Hey.
I'll try to find it. Because basically...
Why are you grabbing things?
Why are you grabbing things? I'm sorry, okay? I didn't mean to be mean.
You did, though. You actually specifically did.
Oh, okay, so this girl. Wait.
That part of you... Research has shown that when you name your inner critic, that part of you that criticizes and demeans you, even when there's no justifiable reason, it makes it less powerful. So what would you name your inner critic?
I kind of think that's a funny idea. Shout out to, what the fuck is her name? Shout out to Feel, Heal, Grow on TikTok. All right, that's all we need to do. I think it's just a funny notion to imagine your inner voice that tells you you're a fucking idiot. Or, you know, everybody has an inner critic that is often unfair and harmful.
Mm.
But that person, that creator, is suggesting the fun thought exercise of giving the inner critic a name. And the idea that naming it kind of defuses it and makes it a little bit less, you know, like, what if your inner critic was just named, like, Alan? Like, in your voice in your head that's being like, you're an idiot, you'll never be good enough. It's just like, said Alan. It's like, shut the fuck up, Alan, you dumb bitch.
Do you think that they meant give it a real name, or do you think they meant acknowledge that it's your inner critic and not truth?
I thought that it meant give it a name. Like,
I think the name is inner critic.
No, like, no. I think
like, acknowledge it.
No, it's give it a name. Like Jill. Like, your inner critic's name is Jessica. Did I fuck that up?
I don't know, maybe not.
I think that she was saying...
What do the comments say?
Oh my god, am I stupid?
I like your idea, though. I feel like that's more effective.
Hold on, let me see if I can find her video. Let's watch it again.
Research has shown that when you name your inner critic, that part of you that criticizes and demeans you, even when there's no justifiable reason, it makes it less powerful. So what would you name your inner critic?
Yeah, she said, what would you name it? And like some comments say, top comment is, I named her mom.
Oh my god.
One guy said, I named him Frank. Meanie me. All right, these are stupid.
Meanie me. I love that.
No,
Meanie me.
I like the idea. Yeah.
Sorry for doubting you.
I don't know. It's all good. But I just thought that was like kind of a funny thing. It kind of reminds me of a 2016 era meme I saw a long time ago, where somebody said, "Think of the worst things you ever say to yourself. Now imagine like Donald Trump saying them to you."
Oh God.
And how you like, you know.
Yeah.
You're like, shut the fuck up, you dumbass piece of shit. Anyway, we don't have to talk about Trump. He was very, very, very relevant at the time that meme was posted. Like in everybody's daily life, 24/7, all day, every day, relevant.
Yeah.
Man, do you remember how fucking that was such a weird time? Anyway, so we're at an hour, and there's only one vital thing left on the docket, unless there's some other things you want to add.
No.
I love you. Are you tired?
You're just going too fast.
We're at an hour.
No.
What would you name your inner critic, Theo?
Brian.
You motherfucker.
Just kidding.
Oh, man.
I feel like it'd be funny to actually name it. Like, not a meme name, just like a real one. And then you could be like, oh, it's just so-and-so again.
Oh, but what if that went too far one day and it became like a split personality? Or like some detached, like fucked up, the disassociative thing you did? Where you're like, Alan wants me in the closet. You like lay down on the floor of your walk-in closet.
This reminds me of a funny anecdote, but it's kind of a trauma memory, so I'll tell you off air.
Alan wants me to jump into traffic. Sorry. Sorry, I'm sorry.
What?
Do you want to tell your? You tell me later.
Yeah.
Are we overstaying our welcome on this recording?
Interesting way to put it.
Should we start to wrap this up or begin our descent back down the mountain?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll begin our descent.
I'm mad at you. Because you made me stay up late to watch another episode of Mad Men last night. I've been tired all day, and now we're in a random suburb recording at midnight.
We're halfway.
And I have to work tomorrow too.
Season.
Yeah, but you never let me sleep, and you got to sleep after I went to work today.
You are acting like I am some kind of villain in your life. It's so mean of me to make you watch a show you like while eating ice cream in bed. I'm such a big jerk.
For too long. I want to go home.
I'm so mean for that. No, we're gonna go home, but first we gotta talk about your show.
I'm anxious about it.
This show's coming out 5 a.m. tomorrow. I'm gonna drive home and edit this right now.
So listen, you motherfuckers, if you're listening...
And it's 5 a.m. on Friday, the 26th of May.
Yeah. You need to get your ass to the Seaport tonight.
70A Sleeper Street. Theo's show, Holding Space, Meditations on Queer Experience, has been live in the gallery, open fucking Saturdays and Sundays or whatever for the past week or two, and it's going to be open until... What is it, mid-July? When does it come down?
June 25th.
Oh, shit. Yeah, okay, so it's going to be up for basically the month of June.
It's for Pride Month.
Pride Month, baby. And it's 27 artists, and it is also... do I want to include that detail? It's the first Pride show the organization sponsoring the event has ever done in their entire history. So that's significant.
Are we sure that that's true?
That's what our colleague who set this project into motion said.
Huh. That's really interesting.
It could be I mean, there could be some... Like I said...
I believe that that's true. I feel like he has the longest reaching memory of people that work in that institution. Yeah. And the fact that nobody else was sure about it makes me think it's probably true. Because if you're not sure... You haven't had a queer show recently enough.
Right, and it's like, I mean, you gotta think, I mean, there's bisexual and gay people and queer people fucking everywhere, ever. Like, you know, like your bank tellers probably fucking buy for all, you know
That's
what I mean?
not the same thing as intentionally having a queer show, though.
Exactly. So I'm just saying, I'm sure there's been many shows featuring, you know, whatever queer people, but this show is a show specifically about the voices and experiences of queer people through their art or whatever. And that's pretty cool because at the end of the day, and the reason that I'm speaking so much for Theo right now is because I'm proud of you, not because I had anything to do with it. This was all of your work, and I'm just merely a front row fan of your experience. Very proud of you.
You did a lot in terms of the install, though.
I was just a helping hand. I mean, think of me as somebody helping you move or something. It's not. I didn't do any meaningful work. I just helped you hang the shit up and move stuff around. But the thing that I'm most impressed by isn't that it's just a pride show or that it's a queer art show. It's not just that. At the end of the day, it's a body of work of some fucking awesome paintings and drawings. It's just a big ass show of sick shit. And at the end of the day, I feel like, whatever. It's just like it's an amazing message and mission, but it's also dope.
Thanks.
And that counts for a lot to me, because nobody can take anything away from it. I don't know why I'm thinking about it like that at all, but
how do you mean?
Well, I feel like a lot of people look at shows like that and like they have like unfair, shitty opinions about diversity in spaces where they're like, oh, that's just there just because people want diversity or some dumb shit. Or they're like, oh, this is just some stupid conceptual shit or whatever. But like, that can't, nobody has any ground to stand with any bullshit criticism like that. Just because it's so dope. It's undeniable, is what I'm saying.
Thank you. So all of the artists that are in the show, and a lot of artists that I wasn't able to fit in the show too, because there were a lot of really wonderful submissions, are exceptionally talented. And something else that was really nice about this too, from a curatorial standpoint and just as a fan of all of these creators, is that the call for art had a place in it where you could write about how your piece was related to the theme of the show, which what I put in the open call was any artwork that is in any way related to queer experience, like your lived experience as a queer person. And there was a place to kind of argue how that fits in or how you see this connected to your experience in queerness. And it was such an open-ended prompt that people gave me a really big range of answers, and it really added to the I think it really added to the show. I ended up printing a lot of those statements and putting them up next to the pieces for the ones that were a little bit more detailed or more poetic. And those are going to be on view as well as part of the opening reception, so that you can actually kind of see more insight into what the artists were thinking in terms of like the theme of the show, which is kind of nice. But kind of what I really wanted to highlight was, I think a lot of the time when you go to pride events or pride shows that aren't sort of a grassroots initiative, they are so alienating for me as a queer person. Like, in my experience, a lot of those events are straight spaces that are queer accepting, or they're just kind of like dulled down and made to be palatable more so than authentic. Like, they're just a very sanitized space a lot of the time, unless you're going to something that is like more locally organized or like more grassroots, I guess, and then that's really fun. But I kind of wanted to bring that energy of like authenticity and actual queer experience into this space to make something that like was actually queer. And all of the artists in the show are, and all of the work is really authentic, and all of it I feel like really speaks from the heart. So I am really excited about it, because when I was in the show, when we first finished installing it, looking at everything all together, it just felt so genuine and sincere, and I really, really like that, especially for Pride Month programming, because I think we need more of that.
This is also your curatorial debut.
It is, yeah.
As an independent curator.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It's very exciting. I'm very excited about the fact that it's this gallery too, because I have wanted to do curation, like curate a group show for a while, but this opportunity kind of landed in my lap. I got pretty lucky. So I'm really excited that it seems like it's going to be a party.
Yeah. Congratulations, Theo.
Thank you.
This is a badass thing. And the reason that it's like, if there's anybody who doesn't really have the geographic context for why it's a good gallery, put simply for those not here, it's a fucking sick ass fancy fucking gallery with big fucking tall ceilings and white walls in a fancy ass rich area surrounded by restaurants and office buildings. It's fucking sick. Like it's in a dope ass location and it's everything you dreamed when you think of fancy art gallery. You know what I mean? So say what you will about Boston or the Seaport or whatever. With the job that you have done is you've gotten dope authentic art into an exclusive space.
Yeah.
And that's what's fucking sick about it, in my opinion.
That's something that made me really excited about this, is that it is in the Seaport. It's a few blocks away from the ICA.
Hell yeah.
It is right on the Fort Point Channel. It is. Do you know that area specifically, the Seaport Fort Point area, is the richest neighborhood in Boston? Point blank, the richest neighborhood in Boston. I googled this.
That's crazy.
Because I was thinking about it the other day, and it actually is.
Counting like Chestnut Hill and shit?
That's what apparently the top 3 articles on Google said.
That's impressive, I guess. It's crazy.
Well, it's one of the most gentrified areas in the entire city. So the fact that this is a show that is happening during Pride Month in the middle of the summer on the water across from all these bars that are always like popping, super busy, and it's largely it's all local queer creators that are very, very talented and have every right to be in that space. But the fact that they're there, the fact that I was able to curate it, the fact that it's such a DIY endeavor and that it came out so professionally and so great, that's kind of a feat, I think, because it's rare that you see a show like this at all. Like if you think about the last time you saw a queer show, even in like a larger institution like a museum or something like that, like when was it?
I don't even think I have. I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah.
You mean like an MFA anywhere in the country?
Yeah.
No clue.
Like the fact
that I don't think I've seen that. I don't think I've been to a exhibit like that.
So I'm excited about it because not only is it, I didn't want it to just be like a Pride Month show that's just like a showcase of like, I don't know. I didn't want it to be the kind of thing where it felt like you were just showing up to show up to be like, I'm gay. Check it out. And everyone goes, nice. You know what I mean? I wanted it to feel like a show that was curated for a queer audience. And if you wanted to enjoy it as somebody that isn't, that's totally cool too. But that's why it's called holding space instead of like taking space or something like that, because we've been here the whole time. And this is an opportunity for us to be in a venue where it's actually being seen and appreciated, but that doesn't mean that queer people and DIY art people haven't been here the whole time. You know what I mean? So I'm really excited about that because the wall text and the work itself and the films and the music that's going to be playing at the opening reception, like all of it speaks very authentically and really boldly about what it's like to actually be queer in a way that isn't voyeuristic. It's just actually like a meditation, which I'm just really, really excited that it came together. And it was not I was excited to manage it and I was excited to be able to help facilitate it happening, but it would not have been possible without the beautiful work that's in the show. So I'm very grateful and happy to spend time tomorrow with all of the artists participating as well, including you, Brian. Brian's going to be playing a set and has a giant painting in the show as well.
I gotta rehearse tomorrow.
You didn't rehearse?
I've rehearsed and I have a written set list. I have the entire thing is completely planned out and ready to be performed. I just, there's some kinks that need to be worked out.
Okay. You'll be fine.
I have a barn guitar that's just a full-size dreadnought, and it's really shitty, and the action's really high, and I play on a smaller body acoustic. So I idiotically used a very, very, very inaccessible bad guitar to rehearse, even though I use like a dainty little small body guitar, like a folk style guitar. So it was actually, I think I might have done whatever the opposite of rehearsing is. Like, I feel like it like took skill away from me.
I don't know if I understand.
Don't worry about it. It's just, I was just.
So you're gonna rehearse again with your real guitar?
Moral of the story: rehearse with the thing you're gonna fucking perform with, idiot.
It's okay.
A dreadnought is basically the classic conventional shape of acoustic guitars. Well, not classic. It's just the acoustic guitar that you see everywhere would be referred to as a dreadnought.
So what's the problem?
They're much bigger and they hurt my arms to play because I have been playing with a smaller guitar than the standard dreadnought for years now.
Mm-hmm. And the barn guitar is a dreadnought?
Yeah.
So
and it sucks to play.
You just rehearsed extra then because you worked harder than you will when you have to play on stage.
Yeah, I guess so.
So you're good.
I'm also worried that I'm going to go overtime because I calculated the time of my set and it's about 29 minutes.
That's okay.
But I'm just kind of like worried that I'm going to go a little bit over and cut into Spencer LaJoy's set.
Well, when I flash the light at you, just pay attention this time.
Dude, that
if you start to panic, just launch into comedy.
Where I didn't know what the light went. So the host, this was such a funny story. I was doing a comedy set, and the host was in the back flashing the light over and over again. And I saw the guy doing it while I was performing and thought he was taking pictures of me. And I was just like, that's fucking weird.
Well, there should have been some communication.
He was saying, get off the stage. Get off the stage so I can get up there and say funny, quippy host stuff. I'm the host.
There could have been better communication.
Not you.
He could have gone, like...
You're not the person that gets to be up there longer. I am.
I bet that's what he said.
Yeah. He said, no, not you, me. Get off.
Nice.
I'm just literally, like, talking shit about this, like, guy.
Who cares?
He was a nice guy, I think.
You didn't say anything that would identify him, so...
Also, I know I pissed him off because he didn't speak to me after the set, and he was, like, very gracious and shook everyone's hand after every performance, but didn't, like, that didn't happen after mine.
That's
like,
weird.
It was a little tense.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's, like, a lot.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I don't know. I was the last performer also, so it's not like I fucked anyone over.
I need to go to bed now.
All right, you big freaking baby. Holding Space, Meditations on Queer Experience. Up now at the Assemblage Art Space in Boston. Go see the damn show. Thank you for listening, everybody. Any final thoughts, Theodora?
No.
Okay, that's it. Bye-bye, everybody.
Boston Art Podcast is an independent DIY production by Brian Huntress and Theodora Earthworms. The information contained in this episode represents the views and opinions of the original creators or our guests, and does not represent any institution, organization, or business. Find us on Instagram at Boston Art Podcast, and tune in for a new episode every Friday. Thank you for listening.